The Galactic Arena Council had thought they were being clever. Marcus Chen stood in the preparation chamber, rolling a smooth, fist-sized stone between his palms while the other competitors made final adjustments to their sophisticated weaponry. The Zephyrian to his left was calibrating plasma discharge settings on arm-mounted cannons. The Thraxian warrior across the room tested the molecular edge of his ceremonial blade. Even the diminutive Kree had brought what appeared to be a gravity distortion device. All perfectly legal under the new regulations. "Attention competitors," announced the synthetic voice of the arena AI. "Final reminder, projectile firearms of any Earth origin are strictly prohibited in this tournament. All other weapons must pass energy signature verification." Marcus smiled grimly. The Council had implemented the ban after humanity's embarrassing sweep of the previous 3 tournaments. Apparently, the sight of human soldiers wielding primitive chemical propellant weapons against the galaxy's finest warriors had been too much for their pride to bear. They had studied human combat footage extensively. They knew about rifles, pistols, shotguns, and even the more exotic railguns and plasma rifles that some colonies had developed. The ban was comprehensive, specific, and they believed foolproof. They had missed something fundamental about humans. The arena materialized around the competitors as the energy barriers dropped, a sprawling urban environment with multiple levels, debris fields, and countless hiding spots. Perfect for the Galactic Council's preferred style of civilized combat. Lengthy stalking, technological superiority, and minimal casualties. Marcus immediately sprinted toward the lower levels while the others began their elaborate setup routines. The Zephyrian needed 30 seconds to achieve target lock. The Thraxian's honor code demanded a formal challenge before engagement. The Kree required line of sight for gravity manipulation. Humans required none of these things. 20 meters down, Marcus found what he was looking for, a pile of construction rubble from the arena's last major renovation. He selected 3 stones, each roughly the size of a baseball, each with good weight distribution. His grandmother's voice echoed in his memory from those childhood summers in rural China. "A stone that feels right in the hand will fly true." The first kill came 12 minutes into the match. The Thraxian had been stalking Marcus through the arena's middle tier, molecular blade humming with lethal energy. Marcus waited until the 8-foot warrior rounded a concrete pillar, then stepped into view with the easy, practiced motion of a man who had grown up throwing rocks at tin cans. The stone caught the Thraxian center mass at 40 meters per second. The impact drove through even his advanced armor, sending him crashing into a support beam with enough force to crack both the beam and several ribs. The molecular blade skittered away across the floor as its wielder struggled to breathe. "Impossible!" gasped the Thraxian. That was primitive kinetic impact. No technology. No honor. "Funny thing about rocks," Marcus said, collecting his projectile and the fallen blade. "They don't need honor codes or power sources. They just need physics." The arena's audience, representatives from 47 different species, fell silent. In 3,000 years of galactic arena competition, no one had ever won a match with Stone Age weaponry. The Kree found Marcus next, floating 3 meters off the ground in a localized gravity well, safe from any conceivable ground-based attack. Its 4 eyes tracked in different directions while its anti-grav device hummed with power. Marcus studied the creature for a moment, calculating angles and trajectories. The Kree's technology was impressive, but it had a crucial flaw. It had made the user stationary. The rock arced high through the arena's artificial atmosphere, following a ballistic path that would have been impossible with any guided projectile. The Kree's sensors, calibrated to detect energy signatures and technological threats, completely ignored the incoming stone until it was too late. Impact velocity, 48 meters per second. The Kree dropped like a rock. "How?" it wheezed from the arena floor. "Our intelligence indicated humans rely on advanced projectile systems, explosive chemical propellants, electromagnetic acceleration. Not this." Marcus hefted his remaining stone. "You studied our weapons. You should have studied our history. We've been throwing rocks since before we climbed down from the trees." The Zephyrian was the final opponent, and by far the most dangerous. Its plasma cannons could level city blocks, and its targeting systems could track a grain of sand in a hurricane. It had positioned itself in the arena's highest tower, with clear sight lines in all directions. Marcus approached the base of the tower openly, making no attempt at stealth. The Zephyrian's targeting systems locked onto him immediately. "Surrender, human," the alien's voice boomed through external speakers. "I have analyzed your previous engagements. Your projectile weapons are effective only at close range, and my position provides overwhelming tactical advantage." "You're right," Marcus called back. "Good thing I'm not planning to throw anything at you." Instead, he hefted the molecular blade he had claimed from the Thraxian and examined the base of the tower. The arena's architects had built for durability, but even advanced materials had stress points. 3 carefully placed cuts with the molecular blade, and the tower's entire support structure began to groan. "What are you?" the Zephyrian began, then understanding dawned. No, that is not possible. "The engineering tolerances alone." The tower toppled with spectacular effect, carrying the Zephyrian and its plasma cannons down in a cascade of twisted metal and concrete. The alien survived the fall, barely, but was thoroughly pinned beneath several tons of debris. Marcus walked over to where the Zephyrian's head protruded from the wreckage. "Sometimes the best projectile weapon isn't something you throw," he said conversationally. "Sometimes it's gravity." In the aftermath, as medics treated the wounded competitors and arena officials scrambled to understand what had happened, Marcus sat on a pile of rubble and cleaned the smooth stone he had never needed to throw. The Galactic Arena Council would, of course, implement new regulations. They would ban stones, restrict molecular blades, and require stability certification for all arena structures. They would study this match obsessively, categorizing every technique Marcus had used, and they would miss the point entirely. Because while they focused on banning individual tools and tactics, humans would continue to do what humans had always done: adapt, improvise, and find new ways to turn the universe itself into a weapon. After all, they could ban firearms, blades, and even rocks, but they could never ban human ingenuity. Marcus Chen smiled as he pocketed his stone and walked toward the exit. Tomorrow's match would be interesting indeed.